Get to me.
I'll take you home. Poor Waitress helps wounded Mafia boss, unaware she's just saved him from rivals. Cassidy's beat-up Honda sputters to life at 2 a.m., rain hammering the windshield, 16 hours of waitressing finally over. Key in ignition, exhaustion crushing her bones, about to drive home when bang, 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 gunshots explode 50 feet away. Her head whips toward the sound. Man stumbles from alley clutching his bleeding side, expensive suit soaked in blood and rain. He spots her car, staggers toward it desperately, collapses against her hood. Eyes locked through rain-streaked glass, his pleading, hers terrified. Every instinct screams, drive away. Instead, her hand clicks the unlock button. Get in, I'll take you home. Before we dive into this story, smash that subscribe button right now, because what happens next will absolutely blow your mind. This waitress has no idea she just saved Chicago's most dangerous mafia boss, and her life is about to get completely insane. Like and comment, because you won't believe where this goes. The stranger doesn't hesitate, yanks the door open and collapses into her passenger seat with grunt of agony. Blood immediately soaks her already stained upholstery, metallic copper smell mixing with coffee and grease, expensive cologne that costs more than her weekly tips. He's massive up close, dangerous even wounded, filling her tiny car with violence barely contained. Drive, his voice commands. Now, don't stop, just drive. Cassidy throws the car into gear, tires squealing on wet pavement, checks mirror in time to see men with guns emerging from the alley searching for him. She floors it, runs the red light because Southside Chicago at 2 a.m. only fools follow rules. Knows these streets from 28 years of surviving them. Every shortcut and dead end takes turns at speeds her dying Honda shouldn't handle. Rain pounds harder, visibility nothing, but she drives possessed because maybe she is possessed by whatever insanity made her unlock that door. 2 waitressing jobs barely covering grandmother's medications and rent. This car held together with prayers, exhausted and broke and running on fumes, but she couldn't let someone bleed out in the rain. What's your name? He asks through pain, voice still carrying authority. Cassidy, she replies, eyes locked on road, knuckles white on wheel. Cassidy, he repeats, you just saved my life, I don't forget that. She glances over, sees both hands pressed to his side, blood seeping between fingers, face going gray. You need a hospital, she says, panic rising. County General, they have to treat you. No hospitals, flat and absolute. No police, nowhere official, nowhere they'll look for me. Her stomach drops. Who is this man that can't go to hospitals? What has she gotten into? Then where, she asks, voice tight with fear. He gives address in Gold Coast, the neighborhood where Chicago's elite live, penthouses and doormen and money she'll never see. Her hands jerk on the wheel, nearly crashes because that's nowhere near here. What was he doing on South Side getting shot? Just drive. He says, I'll explain later. Right now, get me home alive. She takes Lakeshore Drive, heading north. Fastest route, checks mirrors obsessively. Every car potentially following them. His breathing goes labored, wet and ragged. He's losing too much blood. Stay with me, she says, surprised she cares. We're almost there, don't die in my car. He makes sound like laugh if it didn't hurt. What's your name? She asks, needing him to be person, not just bleeding body. Long pause. Then, Rowan, I'm Rowan Kaiser, and you just became the most important person in my world. Name means nothing to her. Just another stranger bleeding on her seats. Who shot you, she asks. People who made a mistake. His voice goes steel. They'll regret it, every one of them. The certainty chills her. This isn't random victim. This is someone dangerous whose enemies use bullets. The building when they arrive screams wealth, glass and steel. Uniformed doorman who rushes out. Mr. Kaiser, his face goes white, my God, sir. No calls. Rowan interrupts. Just get me inside. Call Dr. Morrison. Tell security we have a situation. Doorman supports his weight with practiced efficiency. Not the first time their boss came home wounded. Rowan turns back to Cassidy frozen behind her wheel. Engine running, blood soaking her seat. Thank you, Cassidy, he says, their eyes meeting. I won't forget this. Then he's gone, leaving her alone with evidence and questions. She sits there 5 minutes, breathing hard, trembling. Help someone probably criminal, definitely violent. Made herself witness or accomplice. Should she call police? But he said no police, and something about his voice made her believe that would be a fatal mistake. Finally drives home, south side, grandmother's apartment, parks and sits in darkness, staring at blood on passenger seat. Evidence of choice she can't undo. Climbs out shaking, walks to building entrance, jumping at every shadow. What if they followed her? What if they know who she is? Enters apartment quietly, 3:30 a.m., grandmother sleeping peacefully. Strips in bathroom, shoves bloody clothes in trash, ties bag tight. Shower runs hot, water turning red, then pink, then clear, but can't wash away what happened. Wraps in worn robe, sits on sagging couch, pulls out phone with shaking hands. Types, Rowan Kaiser, Chicago. Results flood her screen, blood turning to ice. Rowan Kaiser, suspected crime boss, federal investigation, alleged mafia leader. Photos of him looking powerful and dangerous. She didn't save mugging victim. She saved actual mafia boss from rival hit. Made herself witness to attempted assassination. Phone buzzes, unknown number, text message. Thank you again, Cassidy Moore, will be in touch. He knows her full name, everything about her life, has resources she can't imagine. Outside, she hears car pull up, looks down to see black sedan parked across street. Windows tinted, just watching her building. Rowan's people or his enemies. Either way, her life just changed forever. All because she couldn't drive away. All because compassion made her say 4 words that destroyed everything. Get in, I'll take you home. And now home isn't safe. Nothing is safe. Cassidy Moore trapped in world of violence where waitresses don't survive, where kindness gets you killed, where helping wounded strangers means becoming target yourself. Morning alarm screams at 6. Cassidy jolts awake after 3 hours of nightmares. Has to work Pearl's Dinah morning shift. Bills don't stop for terror. Grandmother notices immediately. You look pale, sweetheart. Feeling sick. Just tired. Graham didn't sleep well. Want to tell her everything but can't. Would only put her in danger. Kisses her forehead. Guilt crushing her chest. Walks outside to find black sedan still parked across street watching. Blood still stains passenger seat in daylight. Needs cleaning, but no time. Drives to Pearl's paranoid. Every car suspicious. Arrives, ties apron, forces smile. Truckers and construction workers file in. Cassidy pours coffee, shaking every time the door opens. What if they found her? What if they're coming? Drops entire tray of plates. Pearl giving concerned looks, but saying nothing. Across the city, Rowan sits in his penthouse. Bandaged, private doctor finished stitching the wound. Survived because he's faster, meaner, but also because of Cassidy. Victor, his second-in-command, reporting. The Valenti crew is asking questions, boss. They know someone helped you escape, checking cameras, asking around. Do they know who? Not yet, but they're searching, only matter of time. Rowan's jaw tightens. Find her, bring her here, full protection detail. I want her safe before they locate her. Boss, she's civilian, getting her involved further. She's already involved. Rowan's voice drops cold. She saved my life. Now I save hers. Find her immediately. Victor leaves. Rowan watches security footage of her Honda driving away. She looked terrified but stayed anyway. Most people would have left him bleeding. That kind of person is rare, worth protecting with everything he has. Lunch rush ending when 2 men enter Pearl's. Expensive suits, cold predator eyes. Sit at corner booth, order coffee. Cassidy pours with shaking hands. One speaks, scarred face, dead eyes. Nice place, you work here long. Few years. Must see a lot working nights, lot of interesting people. Just regular folks. Funny thing, someone got shot near here last night. Someone important, someone we want found. Cassidy's heart stops, didn't hear about it. No, word is a car helped him escape, beat up Honda like the one outside with blood on passenger seat. They found her. Lots of Hondas in Chicago. Not many with blood stains. Other man stands blocking exit. Maybe you should come outside, have a conversation. Pearl emerges from kitchen, seeing the situation. Everything okay, Cass. Scarman's hand moves inside jacket. Cassidy sees gun outline. Then diner door bursts open. 3 more men entering, different suits, different energy. Victor leading them. massive and intimidating. The lady's coming with us. Scarred man recognizes Kaiser organization. Standoff in middle of pearls. Mr. Kaiser requests Miss Moore's presence. She's under his protection. Anyone touching her answers to him. Scarman weighs options, finally backs down. Tell Kaiser we'll see him soon. This isn't over. They leave. Victor approaches Cassidy, shaking violently. You need to come with us now. Not safe here. Pearl nods. Go, honey, be safe. What choice does she have? Victor escorts her to black SUV, surrounded by armed men, drives through Chicago toward Gold Coast. Pulls up to Rowan's building, ushered inside, elevator to penthouse. Rowan waiting in massive living room, floor-to-ceiling windows, bandaged but standing. Cassidy, I'm sorry for the dramatic extraction, but those men would have taken you. She's shaking with anger and fear. Who were they? What do they want? I don't know anything. They want revenge. Rowan says, they think you're leverage against me. Think hurting you hurts me. I'm not leverage. I'm not anything to you. I'm just a waitress who made stupid decision. You're the woman who saved my life. That makes you everything to them and everything to me. I'm not yours. Her legs give out, sinks on a couch. Rowan sits across carefully. You're right, but Valenti family doesn't care. They marked you the moment you drove me away. Now accept protection or become target. Cassidy's tears come. Her life is over. Everything destroyed because she couldn't drive away. I'm sorry. Rowan says genuinely, you didn't deserve this. Then let me go. Tell them I don't matter. Can't do that, because you do matter. You showed kindness. That's rare, worth protecting. Victor enters. Boss. Valenti sent message. They want meeting, neutral ground tomorrow night, demanding we hand over the girl or face war. Tell them I'll be there. Rowan stands despite pain. Tell them bring everyone. I'm ending this. How? Cassidy asks, how without more people dying? By reminding them why they fear the Kaiser name. Tomorrow this ends. You'll stay here tonight. Guest room ready. Tomorrow we handle Valenti. Victor leaves. Cassidy's world spinning. Guest room is bigger than her entire apartment. King bed, marble bathroom, city lights view. But she can't enjoy it. Paces calls grandmother from burner phone Victor gave her. Gram, I have to stay at friends tonight. Work emergency. Grandmother suspicious, but trusts her. Cassidy hangs up, guilt crushing her. Lying to only family she has, trapped in Mafia boss's penthouse. Rowan knocks, enters with food. You need to eat. Not hungry. He sets tray down anyway. I know this is overwhelming. Overwhelming, she explodes. I'm being hunted by criminals because I helped you. I know, and I'll fix it. How? By starting a war. Rowan's silence is answer. People are going to die because of me. People are going to die because Valenti family broke rules, came after me on neutral ground, involved civilian. This war was coming regardless. That doesn't make me feel better. It should, because you're not responsible for other people's violence. Rowan leaves her to rest, heads to his war room where Victor and lieutenants wait. Maps of Chicago spread across table. Valenti territories marked red, Kaiser territories blue, contested areas purple. Status report. Victor speaks. Valenti's moving soldiers into position, preparing for assault. Let them. They expect me weakened. They're wrong. Pull our people from exposed positions. Fortify core territories. I want eyes on every Valenti operation. His Lieutenant Marcus asks, what about the girl? She's liability. Victor shoots him warning look. Rowan's voice drops dangerously. Cassidy is under my personal protection. Anyone touches her answers to me. Understood. Marcus nods quickly. What's the play tomorrow? Victor asks. They want meeting. We'll give them one, but on our terms. Explains his plan. Use meeting as distraction while hitting their operations. Warehouses, gambling houses, drug distribution, cripple their income, their power base. They came after me thinking I was vulnerable. I'll show them what vulnerable means. Lieutenants disperse to execute orders. Rowan alone now, looking at city through windows, built empire from nothing, survived rivals and feds and betrayers, won't let Valenti family end it, won't let them hurt Cassidy. She saved him. Now he'll destroy anyone who threatens her. Next evening, neutral ground, old warehouse by docks. Both families arrive with armed escorts. Rowan walks in despite wound, shows no weakness. Cassidy watching from SUV outside, Victor beside her. You shouldn't be here. Rowan insisted. Want me to see how this ends. Inside warehouse, Rowan faces Paolo Valenti, old enemy, decades of competition. Paolo smiles seeing bandage. Heard you had rough night. Heard your men failed. Again. Paolo's smile hardens. This is about respect, Kaiser. You've grown too powerful, taken too much. I've taken what I earned. You want it, take it from me. That's why we're here. Paolo signals. His men raise weapons. Rowan doesn't flinch. You really want to do this? Start where you can't win. Can't win. You're wounded, vulnerable, distracted by some waitress. Rowan's expression goes ice cold. Leave her out of this. But she's very much in this. Leverage, weakness. We'll use her too. Rowan's phone buzzes. He checks it, smiles. Funny thing about distractions, Paolo. While you're focused on me, my people are hitting 6 of your operations simultaneously. Paolo's face goes white, pulls out phone. Messages flooding in. Warehouse on fire. Gambling house raided. Distribution center shut down. Paolo starts. I told you. You picked where you can't win. Paolo raises gun at Rowan. Shoot me, and my entire organization descends on yours, your family, your businesses, everything you built gone. Standoff, nuclear tension. Finally, Paolo lowers weapon. This isn't over. Yes, it is. You took your shot. You missed. Now run home before I change my mind about mercy. Valenti men back toward exit. Paolo stops at door. The girl's still a target. Then you're all targets. Rowan's voice deadly calm. Every single Valenti, wives, children, everyone. You make her your war. I make you extinct. Choose carefully. Paolo leaves defeated, but seething. Rowan stands alone in warehouse. Won the battle, but war isn't over. Returns to SUV. Cassidy's eyes wide. What happened? They back down for now. Drives back to penthouse. Cassidy silent, processing everything. The violence, the threats, the power plays. This is Rowan's world. Brutal, unforgiving, dangerous, and she's trapped in it. Back at penthouse, Rowan pours whiskey, hands Cassidy glass. She doesn't drink, just holds it. How do you live like this? Constantly fighting, always looking over shoulder. You learn, adapt, become harder than your enemies. I don't want to become hard. You won't have to. This ends soon. How? By making example, showing everyone what happens when they threaten what's mine. I'm not yours. No, but you're under my protection, and I protect what's mine with everything I have. Cassidy finally sips whiskey, burns going down. What happens to me after when this war ends? That's up to you. You can walk away, resume your life. I'll ensure you're safe. And if I can't walk away, if they keep coming, then you stay with me, protected, safe. Cassidy looks around penthouse, thinks of grandmother, her jobs, her old life. That life feels distant now. I saved you because it was right thing to do. I know. Now my whole life is upside down. Rowan sets down glass. I'm sorry, truly, but I promise you, this ends one way or another. That night Cassidy can't sleep, lies in guest bed staring at ceiling. Tomorrow Rowan goes to war. People will die because she couldn't drive away. Phone buzzes, unknown number. Opens it, blood runs cold. Photo of her grandmother's building. Message, pretty lady, would be shame if something happened. Valenti threatening her grandmother. Cassidy runs to Rowan's room, bursts in. He's awake working. They're threatening my grandmother. Shows him message. Rowan's expression hardens into something terrifying. Victor, his lieutenant, appears instantly. Get her grandmother. Full protection detail. Bring her here now. On it. Rowan turns to Cassidy. They just made their final mistake. Victor and team arrive at grandmother's building within 20 minutes. Elderly woman confused seeing armed men at her door at 3 a.m. Who are you? Where's Cassidy? Ma'am, your granddaughter sent us. You're in danger. We need to move you now. Grandmother refuses. This is my home. I'm not going anywhere with strangers. Victor calls Cassidy, hands phone over. Gram, please. I know this sounds crazy, but you have to trust me. Bad people are after us. These men will keep you safe. Grandmother hears terror in Cassidy's voice, agrees, packs small bag with shaking hands. Victor escorts her downstairs just as Valenti car pulls up outside. They see Kaiser organization removing their leverage. Chase begins through Chicago streets. Victor's driver expert, weaving through traffic, loses them near Magnificent Mile, arrives at Rowan's building safely. Grandmother taken to penthouse, sees Cassidy, embraces her hard. "What's happening, baby? Who are these people? Why are men with guns taking me from my home? I helped someone, Gram. Now bad people are after us. I'm so sorry." Grandmother looks at Rowan standing there bandaged, recognizes power and danger immediately, but also sees how he looks at Cassidy. Protective, possessive. "You're keeping her safe?" Grandmother asks him directly. "With my life, ma'am," Rowan replies, voice carrying absolute certainty. Grandmother studies him long moment, nods slowly, accepts reality because she has no choice, sits on couch exhausted. Cassidy brings her tea, holds her hand, whispers apologies. Grandmother waves away. "You did what was right. Consequences aren't your fault." "But they are," Cassidy says. "I chose to help him. And I raised you to help people." Grandmother says firmly, "Don't apologize for having good heart." With grandmother safe, Rowan unleashes everything. No more restraint. No more playing by rules Valenti already broke. Calls emergency meeting with other crime families. Chicago's underworld has hierarchy, unwritten codes. Valenti violated all of them. Meeting held at neutral restaurant, closed to public. 5 family heads gathered. Rowan presents evidence. Photos of threats to Cassidy's grandmother, civilian targeted in gang dispute, recordings of Valenti soldiers planning to kidnap her. They cross the line, Rowan says, voice cold and controlled. Threatened innocent woman and her elderly grandmother. "This isn't business anymore. This is declaring war on everything we stand for." Families murmur agreement. Valenti's always been reckless, aggressive, pushing boundaries, but this is different. This is exposing all of them to federal attention, to public outrage, to everything they've worked to avoid. Antonio Marchese speaks first, oldest family head, respected voice. "What are you proposing, Kaiser?" "That we handle this together." Rowan says Valenti thinks he can break rules without consequences. "We show him otherwise. United front, cut off his supply lines, freeze his assets, pressure from all sides until he has no choice but to leave Chicago or face complete destruction." Families vote. Unanimous decision. Valenti is out, finished, done. Orders go out within the hour. Valenti operations hit simultaneously. Warehouses raided. Gambling houses shut down. Distribution networks severed. Money frozen in accounts Valenti thought were secret. Legal pressure from above, through connections families maintain. Street pressure from below, through soldiers who answer to combined authority. Valenti empire crumbles in 72 hours, faster than anyone expected. Like House of Cards once first piece falls. Paolo Valenti watches his life's work destroyed, calls to allies going unanswered, soldiers defecting to other families, money disappearing, everything he built reduced to nothing. 4th night after grandmother's rescue, Rowan arrives at Valenti's home personally, Victor, an armed team with him. Walks in like he owns the place, because effectively he does now. Paolo sitting in office, defeated, surrounded by empty bottles, face showing man who's lost everything. "You destroyed me," Paolo says, voice hollow, "took everything I had. You threatened an innocent woman." Rowan replies, placing envelope on desk. "What did you expect? Flowers and forgiveness. She saved you. That makes her enemy. That makes her fair game in our world." No, Rowan's voice drops dangerously. "That makes her sacred. In old days we had honor, Paolo. We kept civilians out of our wars. You forgot that. You forgot what it means to have code." Paolo opens envelope, sees one-way tickets to Sicily, sees mercy he doesn't deserve. "Why?" he asks, voice breaking. "Why not just kill me?" "Because Cassidy asked me not to," Rowan says. "She has kinder heart than either of us deserve. She believes in second chances, in redemption, in all the things we stopped believing in years ago. So you get to live, you get to leave, you take your immediate family and you disappear. But if you ever return, if you ever speak my name or hers again, there won't be tickets, there won't be mercy, there will only be the ending you earn tonight." Paolo takes tickets with trembling hands, understands this is only option besides death, nods acceptance, broken and finished. Rowan leaves him to pack. War is over. Cassidy is safe, threat eliminated without the bloodbath it could have been. Returns to penthouse where Cassidy and grandmother wait. tension visible in both their faces. It's done, Rowan says heavily, sitting because wound is bothering him though he hides it. Valenti's gone. You're safe, both of you. No one's coming for you anymore. Cassidy should feel relief, but instead feels empty. Her life will never be normal again. Everyone in Chicago's underworld knows she's connected to Rowan Kaiser, returning to her apartment. Her waitressing job's impossible now. Too many people know her face, know her name, know she's the woman the Kaiser boss protected. Rowan watches her process this, sees the realization settling in. I have proposition, he says carefully. Stay here, you, and your grandmother. I have rooms, full security. You'll never have to work 2 jobs again. Never have to worry about bills or safety or anything. I can't accept charity. Cassidy starts, pride fighting against reality. It's not charity, it's payment. You saved my life. I'm returning the favor, equivalent exchange. Cassidy looks at grandmother, who's surprisingly calm despite everything. It's your choice, sweetheart. Grandmother says, I'll support whatever you decide. Cassidy thinks about Pearl's Diner, the overnight shifts at Stackhouse, the exhaustion, the poverty, the endless cycle of barely surviving. Thinks about grandmother's medical bills they can't afford, the medications they ration to make last longer, the apartment where heat barely works and hot water is luxury. Then thinks about what staying means, being connected to Rowan, his world, his violence, his protection that comes with price she doesn't fully understand yet. She asks him directly, if I stay, what does that make us? Whatever you want us to be, Rowan replies, meeting her eyes. I'm not asking you to be my woman or my possession or anything you don't want. I'm offering safety and security and a way out of poverty that's been crushing you. What you do with that is your choice. 6 months later, Cassidy's life is transformed, but complicated in ways she's still processing. She and grandmother live in Rowan's building, separate apartment 2 floors down, space and independence, but security always present. Cassidy no longer waitresses, instead manages Rowan's legitimate businesses, discovered she's brilliant with numbers and organization, natural talent for management that was wasted serving coffee. Grandmother's medical bills paid in full, better doctors, better medications. She's healthier than she's been in years, color back in her face, energy returning. Cassidy and Rowan's relationship evolved slowly. Trust built through shared trauma and daily proximity. Respect growing from mutual strength neither expected to find. Something deeper developing that neither wanted to name yet. Not quite romance, but more than friendship. Partnership that might become love given time. Cassidy's not naive, knows what Rowan does. Knows his businesses aren't all legitimate despite the transition he's making, but also sees the man behind reputation. The one who kept his word, who protected her when he could have walked away, who values loyalty above everything else. One evening having dinner, grandmother already asleep in her room, just Cassidy and Rowan at kitchen table like normal couple instead of what they actually are. Cassidy finally asks questions she's been avoiding. Do you regret it, me helping you that night? Everything that happened after. Rowan quiet for a long moment, considering his answer carefully. I regret you being put in danger. He says finally, regret the fear and the violence that touched your life, but I don't regret meeting you. Don't regret having you here. Why? Cassidy asks, needing to understand. Because you reminded me what matters, Rowan says, voice unusually soft. Before you, everything was territory and power and control, endless war over streets and money and respect. Now there's something more, someone worth protecting beyond myself. Reason to consider future beyond next fight. Cassidy reaches across table, takes his hand. I should have driven away that night. But you didn't, and I'm grateful for that every single day. No, I said get in, I'll take you home. Changed both our lives with 4 words. Rowan smiles, rare, genuine expression. And you saved me, not just from bullets, but from becoming something irredeemable, from losing the last pieces of humanity I had left. You gave me reason to be more than just dangerous, gave me purpose beyond survival. Cassidy realizes she didn't just save his life that night. She saved his humanity, gave him something worth being better for, and he gave her security and purpose and family she'd lost when her parents died. Strange, unconventional, morally gray family, but family nonetheless, built from crisis and violence into something that might be beautiful given time. So what now? She asks, where do we go from here? Now we build something new. Rowan says, together, whatever that looks like, we figure it out as we go. Cassidy thinks about the choice she made that night. Compassion in moment of crisis that cost her old life, but gave her new one. Better or worse, she can't say yet. Just different, just hers, and she owns it completely. Outside windows, Chicago glitters in darkness. City of violence and beauty intertwined. Cassidy's learned to navigate both. Learned that survival sometimes means accepting help from dangerous places. She squeezes Rowan's hand. He squeezes back, unspoken understanding passing between them. They saved each other that night in different ways, and maybe that's enough. Maybe that's everything. Phone buzzes, Victor calling with business that needs handling. Rowan answers, listens, hangs up with sigh. Problem, Cassidy asks. Nothing I can't handle. Minor issue with shipment. Need to make some calls. Go. She says, I'll clean up here. Grandmother and I will be fine. Rowan stands, kisses her forehead. Gesture that's become natural between them. I'll be back in an hour. Lock the door behind me. After he leaves, Cassidy sits alone in kitchen they've shared for 6 months. Thinks about the journey from that rainy night to this moment. The terror and the violence and the impossible choices that led here. Her phone rings. Pearl calling. She answers. Cass. Pearl's voice warm. How are you, honey? We miss you at the diner. Miss you too, Pearl. Cassidy says honestly, how's everything? Busy as always. Hired 2 new girls, but neither of them are you. Customers ask about you all the time. Tell them I'm good. I'm safe. I'm figuring things out. Pearl quiet for a moment. Then you happy, Cass? That's what matters. Are you happy where you are? Cassidy thinks about it, about grandmother's health improving, about not being exhausted constantly, about the way Rowan looks at her like she matters, about building something from the wreckage of that night. Yeah, Pearl, she says, surprised to realize it's true. I think I am. It's different and complicated, but I'm happy. Good, Pearl says, voice thick with emotion. You deserve that, baby. You deserve everything good. Call me if you ever need anything. I will. Thank you for everything, Pearl. Always, honey. You take care of yourself. Cassidy hangs up, walks to window overlooking city, sees Rowan's reflection in glass as he returns earlier than expected. Couldn't stay away, he says, standing behind her. Needed to make sure you're okay. I'm okay, she says, leaning back against him. I'm more than okay. I'm exactly where I need to be. They stand together watching Chicago's lights. 2 people who found each other in darkness and built something neither planned but both needed. Prove that sometimes the worst nights lead to the best mornings. That kindness can be a revolutionary act even when it costs everything. That saying, get in, I'll take you home, can mean more than transportation. Can mean sanctuary and partnership and future neither expected, but both choose every day. 3 weeks after Paolo Valenti leaves Chicago, life settles in a rhythm that feels almost normal except for the security and the fact that Cassidy's living in a world she never imagined. Grandmother's thriving, new medications working, color in her cheeks, walking without pain for first time in years. Cassidy's managing 3 of Rowan's legitimate businesses, restaurants, and a small import company. Turns out poverty taught her more about business than any degree could. She's good at this, reading people, managing conflicts, seeing patterns and numbers that others miss. Rowan watches her work with something like pride. One afternoon, she's reviewing accounts when her old phone buzzes, the one she kept from before, number she doesn't recognize. Answers cautiously. Cassidy Moore, male voice she doesn't know, friendly but wrong somehow. We need to talk about Rowan Kaiser. Who is this? Friend of Paolo Valenti, just want to chat. Neutral ground, coffee shop on Michigan Avenue, 1 hour. Hangs up before she can refuse. Her hands shake, immediately calls Rowan, who's across town in meeting. They're trying to contact me. She says when he answers, Valenti people want to meet. Don't go anywhere. Rowan's voice goes hard. I'm sending Victor now. Stay in the office, lock the door. But maybe I should, Cassidy says. Maybe talking to them ends this permanently. No, absolutely not. They want leverage or revenge or both. You're not going near them. Rowan, I can't live like this forever, constantly protected, constantly afraid. Maybe if I just... Victor's already on his way. Rowan interrupts. We'll discuss this when I get there. Do not leave that building, Cassidy. I mean it. Hangs up, leaving her staring at phone. Frustrated by the cage her life has become, even if cage is gilded. She looks at address the caller gave. Public place, broad daylight. What could happen? Makes decision Rowan will hate. Grabs her coat. Tells the building security she's getting coffee down the street. They offer to escort her, but she waves them off. I'm just going 2 blocks. I'll be fine. Walks out into Chicago afternoon. Freedom she hasn't felt in months. Reaches coffee shop and scans for threats, but sees only students and business people. Sits at table near window. Orders coffee. She doesn't drink. Waits. Man appears after 10 minutes. Expensive suit. Pleasant face. Slides in a seat across from her. Cassidy Moore, you're hard to reach these days. Kaiser keeps you locked up tight. What do you want? Simple conversation, he says, about your relationship with Rowan Kaiser, about the night you saved him, about what you saw. I didn't see anything. I drove him home. That's all. Come now, you saw who shot him, where it happened, details that could be very valuable to certain people. I'm not telling you anything. Cassidy stands to leave. His hand shoots out, grabs her wrist, not hard but firm. Sit down, this can go easy or hard, your choice. Let go of me, she says loudly, people looking now. He releases her, smiling like they're old friends. Just hear me out. Paolo's gone, but his nephews are still here. They want revenge for what Kaiser did to their family. They're willing to pay for information, willing to protect you if you testify against him. I'm not testifying against anyone. Cassidy backs toward door. Think about it. He calls after her. Think about your grandmother, about your future, about what happens when Kaiser gets tired of keeping you around. Outside, she walks fast, realizes the mistake she made, pulls out phone to call Victor, but it's grabbed from her hand. 2 men appeared from nowhere, one on each side. Walk with us quietly. Don't make a scene. Where are we going? Cassidy's heart hammering. Somewhere private. Somewhere we can talk properly. Make you understand your situation. She tries to pull away, but their grip is iron, dragging her toward black car at curb. Panic flooding her system because Rowan was right. She was stupid, and now she's caught. Victor's SUV screeches around corner. Cutting off the black car, he jumps out with 2 other Kaiser soldiers, guns visible beneath jackets. Let her go, Victor's voice carries across the street. Let her go now, or this gets ugly. Valenti men tighten grip on Cassidy. Use her as shield. You want her back off. Let us leave. Not happening. Victor says, boss wants her back safe. Anything happens to her, you don't leave this street alive. Standoff in broad daylight, pedestrian scattering. Someone probably calling cops. Cassidy sees her chance, stomps hard on nearest man's foot, drives elbow into other's ribs, breaks free enough that Victor can move. Gunshots, 3 rapid cracks, Valenti men dropping. Victor's team faster and better trained. Cassidy hits the ground, covering her head, ears ringing. Victor there instantly, pulling her up. You okay? Are you hurt? I'm fine. She gasps. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. Save it. He interrupts. Let's move before cops arrive. Into the SUV, speeding away from scene. Cassidy shaking with adrenaline crash. Victor on phone with Rowan. Yeah, we got her. She's safe, a little roughed up, but unharmed. Heading to you now. Hangs up, looks at Cassidy in rear view. Boss is going to lose his mind, you know that, right? I know. She whispers, I just wanted to feel normal. Wanted to believe I could handle it myself. You almost got yourself killed, Victor says, but not unkindly. Valenti's nephews don't play games. They were going to take you, torture you for information, probably kill you when they were done. I didn't think, Cassidy says, tears starting, I just wanted my life back. You can't have that life back. Victor says, not anymore. Sooner you accept that, safer you'll be. Kaiser's protection isn't punishment. It's keeping you alive. They arrive at Rowan's main office building. Underground parking. Victor escorts her to private elevator, up to penthouse office where Rowan waits. His face when he sees her is fury and relief warring for dominance. What were you thinking? He explodes. I told you to stay put. I told you Victor was coming. Instead, you walk in a trap that nearly got you killed. I wanted to fix this myself. Cassidy says, wanted to talk to them. Make them understand I'm not threat. By yourself. Rowan's voice drops dangerously low, without security, without backup, without telling anyone where you were going. Do you have any idea what would have happened if Victor hadn't tracked your phone? I can't live in cage forever, Cassidy shouts back. Can't be prisoner, even if the cell is nice. I need some part of my life that's mine. Your life is yours, Rowan says, but staying alive requires precautions, requires understanding that people want to hurt you to get to me, requires not being reckless. I'm not reckless. I'm just tired of being afraid, tired of looking over my shoulder, tired of this war that never ends. It does end, Rowan says. After today, it ends permanently. Valenti's nephews just signed their death warrant touching you. No, Cassidy says, no more killing, no more bodies. There has to be another way. There isn't. Not anymore. They came after you in broad daylight. They're desperate, and desperate men do stupid things. Only way to stop them is permanently. Rowan, please. She moves closer, takes his hand. Please find another way. For me, don't start this cycle again. He looks at her, sees the plea in her eyes, the exhaustion and fear and determination. You're asking me to show mercy to people who tried to kidnap you, who would have killed you. I'm asking you to be better than them, to break the cycle instead of perpetuating it. Long silence. Rowan, processing, finally nods. One chance, he says. I'll give them one chance to leave like Paolo did. Tickets out of Chicago. Warning that return means death. But if they refuse, if they try anything else, I finish it my way. Deal, Cassidy says, relief flooding through her. But you, Rowan's voice goes hard again. No more solo adventures. No more thinking you can handle this yourself. You stay where security can reach you, or this arrangement doesn't work. Okay, she agrees. I'm sorry, I was stupid. Yes, you were, but you're alive. That's what matters. That night, grandmother asked the question Cassidy's been avoiding. When are you going to admit you love him? What? Cassidy looks up from her book. Rowan, grandmother says, when are you going to stop pretending this is just about protection and security? Anyone with eyes can see how you look at each other. We're not. Cassidy starts. It's complicated, Gram. Love usually is, grandmother says, but that boy risked everything for you, changed his whole world to keep you safe, and you nearly got yourself killed today because you can't stand the thought of him being in danger because of you. That's love, sweetheart, messy and complicated and real. I don't know how to be in love with someone like him. Cassidy admits, someone whose world is violence and danger, someone who makes decisions that cost lives. You think he knows how to be in love with someone like you? Grandmother asks, someone good and kind who reminds him what he's lost, who makes him question everything he's built. Love isn't about knowing how. It's about choosing to try anyway. Cassidy thinks about this, about the way Rowan looks at her, the way he listens when she asks him to show mercy, the way he's changing his empire piece by piece because she asked him to be better. Next morning, she finds him in his office early, working despite the hour. Can we talk? She asks. Always, he sets down papers, gives her full attention. About yesterday, about everything really. I need to know what this is, what we are to each other. What do you want us to be? Rowan asks carefully. I want to know if this is real, if you feel what I feel, if I'm more to you than responsibility or obligation. Cassidy, Rowan stands, moves around desk toward her. You stop being obligation the moment you unlock that car door. You became something else, something I didn't know I needed. What's that? She asks. Home, he says, simply safety, reason to want tomorrow instead of just surviving today. You're the person who makes me believe I can be more than what I've been. And yes, I love you. Probably since that first night, even if I didn't recognize it then. She kisses him, sudden and fierce. Months of tension breaking. He responds immediately, pulling her close, kiss deepening until they're both breathless. I love you too, she says against his mouth. I love you, and it terrifies me, and I can't imagine my life without you anymore. Then don't, Rowan says, stay, build this with me, be my partner in everything, not just business. Be the reason I keep choosing better. 6 months later, Cassidy stands in Rowan's penthouse wearing simple white dress. Grandmother crying happy tears. Victor and the other lieutenants dressed in suits looking uncomfortable but pleased. Small ceremony. Just people who matter. Rowan in front of her looking at her like she's everything that matters in his world. They exchange vows they wrote themselves. Promises about choosing each other daily. About building legitimate future together, about protecting what they've created from the ashes of that violent night. I take you home, Cassidy says, smiling through tears. Gets a laugh from everyone because those words mean everything now. And I promise you'll always be safe here, Rowan responds, voice thick with emotion. This is our home, built together, worth everything. Year after wedding, they open community center in Southside. Cassidy's project, funded by Rowan's money, but driven by her vision. Place where kids from her old neighborhood can learn and grow and escape the cycle of poverty and violence. Pearl's there at opening, hugging Cassidy hard. I'm so proud of you, honey. Look what you've built. Couldn't have done it without him, Cassidy says, watching Rowan talk to kids about staying in school, about making better choices than he did, about how one decision can change everything. He's changed. Pearl says, everyone knows the Kaiser organization isn't what it was. Word is he's going completely legitimate, cleaning up the whole operation. He's trying. Cassidy says, for me, for us, for the family we want to build, still has a long way to go, but he's trying. That's all any of us can do. Pearl says, try to be better than we were yesterday. 2 years after that night in the rain, Cassidy pregnant with their first child, standing in their home, looking out at Chicago, city that almost killed her, city that gave her everything. Rowan comes up behind her, hands on her growing belly. Thinking about that night, he asks, always, she says, how different everything would be if I'd driven away. But you didn't, he says. No, I unlocked the door, said get in, I'll take you home, stupidest and best decision I ever made. Not stupid. Rowan says brave, compassionate. You saw someone who needed help and you helped. That's who you are. That's why I love you. Their daughter born 3 months later, healthy and perfect. They name her Hope because that's what she represents. Hope for future built on better choices. Hope that people can change when they find reason to. Cassidy holds her, looks at Rowan holding their daughter with such tenderness, thinks about the journey from that desperate night to this moment. She saved a bleeding stranger and he saved her from poverty. They saved each other from loneliness, built family from violence, created love from crisis, proved that sometimes the worst nights lead to the best lives if you're brave enough to unlock the door, brave enough to say 4 words that change everything. Get in, I'll take you home. If this story of unexpected rescue and dangerous loyalty moved you, smash that subscribe button right now. Hit the notification bell for more insane stories about choices that change everything. Comment below, would you have helped a stranger bleeding in the rain? Share with someone who needs to hear this. Like, subscribe, and join our family today, because these stories prove that one act of compassion can transform lives. That love can grow from the most unlikely places, and that sometimes the people we save end up saving us right back. Don't miss out on more powerful stories like this one.